You like the circus? You take your kids to the circus? Now, the home of the greatest show on earth is paying a record fine for allegedly mistreating elephants. Take a look at this piece of video. This is undercover video. This is from PETA back in 2009. The animal rights group and myriad organizations have accused the circus of abusing and exploiting elephants using the metal hook. It's called a bull hook. So the parent company of Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus is paying out this $270,000 fine to the USDA for such violations.
Here in a pristine and protected environment, it's home sweet home for the most pampered pachyderms on the planet.
There's a hunger, a longing to escape from the life I live when I'm away. So let's go there, let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher? Appreciate those nights and those dreams. But my friend, I'd sacrifice all those nights if I could make the earth and my dreams the same. The only difference is to let love replace all I hate. So let's go there, let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher to a place where the line might see? Can you take me higher to a place with golden streams? So let's go there, yeah, let's go there. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay?
Alexa, move on.
Strong enough to take these dreams and make them mine. Can you take me higher to a place where the line might see? Can you take me higher?
No, I,
No? Yeah, I'm hammered.
me too. Got a couple hanging in the bag.
I got a great picture.
Really serious. You walk with them all over here.
Uh-huh.
You waited here?
Welcome. Good evening, Mayor Tate, council members. Thank you for allowing us to speak today. My name is Jan Creamer. I'm president of Animal Defenders International, and I'm here to say to you that this is the beginning of a conversation. This is not the end of a campaign, it's the opening of a campaign. We are here now, we're here to converse with each of you and to provide you with the kind of evidence that you need to make the decision that balances the needs of the economy with the needs to protect animals. Animal Defenders International has worked in over 20 countries around the world. We have bans in Greece, Bolivia, the UK government is discussing a ban at the moment. We have 20 countries with national bans on the use of animals in circuses. There are 34 bans on the use of wild animals in circuses in the United States. There are hundreds of bans on the use of wild animals in circuses in countries all over the world, in Europe. In my country, in Great Britain, we have over 200 local bans on the use of wild animals in travelling circuses. These people haven't looked at the evidence. They can see what happens to the animals. With the best will in the world, and with due respect to the lady who just spoke to you, the fact is that given those circumstances of a travelling circus, you cannot possibly provide those animals with the kind of facilities and space that they need to keep them healthy and happy, even with the best will in the world. And certainly the abuse that I have personally witnessed and our investigators have witnessed, that goes on behind the scenes. It doesn't go on in front of normal workers or other people caring for the animals necessarily. What I would like to say to you as a legislative body is that we do care about the economy too. We understand the issues that face you, and what we can say to you is that removing wild animals from circuses doesn't lose any jobs. We have found everywhere that if you replace the wild animals in circuses, you get other shows. Circuses can transfer perfectly, happily, and actually make a lot of money with new shows, human acts, with all kinds of other different performances. It is not necessarily the case that removing wild animals, which after all are only a few minutes of a 2-hour show, it's not the case that that will lose jobs. It most certainly won't lose jobs, and the countries that I'm talking about have economic problems too. But they have still made the decision to end the use of wild animals in travelling circuses. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor and Council. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. My name is Kelly Sawyer. I'm a native from Orange County. I was a child performer at Disneyland. I posted several links on your Facebook page this week attempting to inform you about federal trial information and the things that came out in that trial with Ringling Brothers. What I'd like to discuss today that everyone seems to keep avoiding, including Dr. Dennis Schmidt, who spoke here this evening, is that Center of Elephant Conservation, which is the Ringling home for all of the elephants, where they breed the elephants and where the performers, Mabel, who was here this summer, was, well, it's in regards to tuberculosis. It's under quarantine since 2007. It is indefinite because this human contagious tuberculosis has mutated. You can check Harvard studies. Please check the CDC. There was an elephant symposium last year in 2011. They have had 2 outbreaks from elephants. 11 people were infected in the last one, and they did confirm that it was from the elephants, NIOSH, Special Division of CDC. So anyway, some of the elephants that were here, the testing right now for circuses is inadequate. They're doing trunk washes, and that's not adequate to test. They don't have, the diagnosis is not down. They think that the elephant tuberculosis originated actually from circus workers, which is why it's in captive elephants. So this is a new ground of elephant study. Dr. Schmidt would be able to fill you in because he published a 15-year study of tuberculosis treatment in Ringling elephants. It is experimental somewhat because they don't know how to control it. It is human contagious. The CDC says your best bet is to wear certified respiratory gear when you're in shared air. They are unsure if it does live in the environment for 8 months. And dust and dirt that is kicked up, it can live and remain there. They're unsure about public environments, how long it is contagious there, and whether it is shed through fecal. So there are all kinds of unanswered questions. And Mabel, who was here this summer, was born to a positive infected mother, Shirley, who's never ever allowed to leave CEC again. She's under permanent quarantine. And they were not treating her in a federal court deposition. They were not treating her when she was nursing Mabel. That's the #1 way to get tuberculosis is through milk. So I would recommend, before any of these elephants come back to the city, please check with the Public Department of Health. They have access to records that you cannot get through the...
Ms. Sawyer, ma'am, your time is up.
Okay. It's... CDC states it's could be the final conqueror of mankind. It's a very serious issue, and there are several articles stating that it is contagious to the public. Please check with the CDC.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council members. My name is Bob Manell, and I actually had the pleasure of working at Disneyland back in the day. I'm here to thank you, speak on behalf of the traveling ban, the exact ban. I'm a former elephant trainer and groom in the circus. Anybody that tells you that elephants are not brutally beaten has either not seen it, they're either ignorant of the facts, or they're lying. There's no other way about it. With respect to the lady that, Teamster lady, when I worked at the circus, we had members of our circus. I've worked in a couple different circuses. I have my own herd of elephants, and there were people in the circus that would tell people, "Hey, I've never seen an elephant beaten," and these are people that worked in our circus for 5 years, and I absolutely believe them because the real training, the real tuning up, goes on behind the scenes. We use pitchforks, we use baseball bats. Ringling Brothers was just here about a month ago. The head trainer is named Joey Frisco. He and I worked together intimately for quite a bit of time. I personally watched Joe Frisco. Well, we're doing a tuberculosis test. And that's where you put saline in an elephant's trunk. You blow it out. This elephant didn't want to give up her trunk. She's chained up as are all the elephants in the barn. So he takes a baseball bat and starts beating her mercilessly. She's still not giving it up. So then he takes a bullock. He's jamming her, poking her in every single orifice. That's still not working. She's trumpeting, urinating all over the place. The other 20 elephants in the barn are doing the same thing. He takes the electric cattle prod and he's shoving it up every single orifice. I counted 171 shocks to Del Rita within about a minute and a half period of time. This is routine behavior. Anybody that tells you others, you're good people. Anybody that says that, like I said, anybody that says these elephants are not beaten mercilessly, and it's just one of my jobs was literally at the end of a training session to put Wonder Dust or mud to pack the bleeding wounds. Now, we had a decent size. I'd love to show you some videos sometime. I've got nightmares from my scene, but just a month ago, you had Joe Frisco, who Ringling extols the virtues of. If any one of you had seen a tenth of what I'd seen, this man would be in jail. There's no way that you good people of Anaheim would allow this kind of thing to go in your city. I don't care what. It's not about money at this point. I mean, it's just there's got to be some. You're talking about $1 million here. Like I said, Circus Soleil, all these other circuses. Bring a lot more. I'm 15. It's an incredibly emotional issue to me because I've seen countless friends of mine get the crap beat out of them with baseball bats, with pitchforks. I can't. It's sickening. I beg you to please bring it up again. It's
Sir, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Heather Dietert, and I want to thank you all for giving us the time today to speak about our views on Ringling Brothers Circus. And it's not hard to be captivated by these exotic and glorious animals. They're intelligent, they're smart, and they're just unbelievable with their intelligence. And as a concerned citizen, I took it upon myself to go down to the circus and be a part of the protest the last few months that they're in Southern California. I've been to 3 different venues, 12 different protests, and I have to tell you that I witnessed some really awful things that have given me nightmares. Not only with the animal abuse and the neglect, but with Ringling employees. And I just want to let you know and make sure that the public is informed that when the circus comes to town, so do the abusers, ex-cons, and sex offenders. Myself, as well as other young women that have been protesting and have been alone at the end of our demonstration, have been harassed by different Ringling staff members and employees, followed to different locations, and I have personally been cut off. And I had a Ringling general manager behind my car waiting for me as my car was last to leave the lot. So these animals are left without water in the heat. Most of them are chained down. They have no stimulation, no exercise, and they travel about 11 months out of the year. There's no stimulation that they get daily. I've spent many, many hours earlier in the day through late in the night watching them cry and scratch and moan. And this is the big cats. The big cats are the tigers and the lions and the leopards. They're left there in the heat, and some of them lay in their own urine and have no choice but to just lay there. The poor elephants are usually chained and standing on concrete many, many hours of the day with no rest. Nothing but hay to just toss around while they're bobbing and swaying and opening up and shutting their mouths, which is a severe sign of distress. This is a very unhappy sight to see, and as for, getting involved with this the last few months, I feel like it's my duties to help educate the public and educate you all on some of the things that we've seen that most people don't get to see. I've taken my camera, I've videotaped, I've documented by photography all of these things, and by doing that, Ringling felt threatened by me and felt that they needed to call the police and have, and I did nothing wrong. I was on the sidewalk documenting, and one of the Ringling Brothers guys pushed the fence against me when we were at Anaheim Honda Civic Center and decided that he was going to call the police on me and say that I kicked the fence. So Anaheim Civic Center and Ringling decided
Ms.
that they...
Deere, I'm sorry, ma'am, your time is up.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Melanie Shaw, and I'm a resident of Garden Grove, and I'm also here in support of the ban on exotic animals in the circus in Anaheim. When you go to a Ringling Brothers Circus and you're able to view these animals, when you look at the tigers, they're in these very small confined cages. There's 2 levels. They're able to jump down and jump up. There's hardly any room to move around. I think the only exercise these tigers get is when they're let out for about an hour. I spoke to a worker, and he said they think they get about an hour a day to get exercise and run around. And the only other time they're able to move around is when they're performing. And then they're put back right into their little small confined cage. I have cats, and I wouldn't even want my cats to be in these little cages. They're wild tigers. They should not be confined in these small cages where they can barely move. And then when they travel, they're put in little cages in cars so they can travel from city to city. And I also wanted to say, in response to the opposition, the evidence does not lie, okay? There's many lawsuits against Ringling Brothers. The evidence does not lie against abuse, against neglect. Also, the video footage does not lie. Undercover footage of how these animals are abused to perform these tricks. The evidence does not lie. And if you care about these animals, if these workers care, they're not going to prod them with bull hooks. They're not going to keep them in confined cages. That isn't caring for an animal. These are wild animals. That is not care to me. They're wild animals. They shouldn't be confined in cages from city to city, and they shouldn't be prodded and abused to perform acts. That is not caring for an animal. There is no excuse for animal abuse. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm waiting for class because I didn't know if I could do this without crying. But my name's Jody Pollard. I am not with any organization, just a loving mom that loves animals, and I'm here to support the ban of animals use in circuses. I went online because I was just curious on helping animals out and found the videos. And like she said, videos don't lie. There's one right on there, and it has their so-called trainers, if they could call them that, in concrete area where there's no one of their so-called, people that work there around telling them, hit the elephant until it screams. And it's heartbreaking to watch. So a few weeks later, I went to my first protest. I'm like, I need to do something, And I went to the Honda Center, which I love Anaheim. I'm here all the time. I shop here. My son went to school in Orange. And I saw it firsthand. Seeing them up close, especially when they walk the elephants back to the train, with their bull hooks, there's 5 magnificent elephants, covered with scars. It's haunting. It breaks your heart. I've had nightmares ever since. I'm 48 years old and nothing has ever affected me like this. So don't teach our children that no matter how much money you have or if you're a part of a big organization that you're allowed to abuse animals, because that's what we're teaching them by having this here. So I just ask you to please watch the videos, because they don't lie. It takes one person who cares a whole bunch to make a change, and I hope that's you, and that will show that other cities will follow. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Tate and City Council. My name is Katie Manili, and I'm here once again to speak on the issue of the ban on wild and exotic animals in circuses. Councilmember Galloway, I want to thank you sincerely for taking your time. I know I have worked with you for the past 3 years here in this city on this issue with the previous Mayor Pringle. And thank you so much for taking the time that this issue deserves. Mayor Tate, same to you as well. Thank you for taking the time for meetings. I also want to thank Chief Welter as well, who has met with me and seen the videos firsthand regarding the public safety issues and concerns regarding the rampages when these elephants and exotic animals get loose from their handlers. I am glad this issue has been taken off the agenda for tonight, because not all the council members have made themselves available for meetings. And meetings by me from local residents, as well as the organizations that have gone undercover, as well as the Teamsters, and hear all sides of the issue. When that happens, and when we feel that everyone is well educated and can make a sound decision on this issue, I hope it does come back up for vote. I want to use the last few minutes to speak on these photos again. And if anyone from Feld is still in the room, these pictures should be familiar. These are actual Ringling elephants. These pictures were submitted from a former Ringling employer, Sam Haddock, who was an elephant trainer for over 20 years. Before his death, he felt compelled to expose Ringling and the practices that he participated in, and he had a change of consciousness. These photos do not lie. These photos are the reason I stand before you tonight. I got involved in this cause back in 2009. I am not a paid employee by any group or organization. I work full-time in the field of advertising. I will tell you that Ringling Brothers, unfortunately, has very effective advertising. They have great cartoon ads depicting elephants smiling and tigers smiling and parading around, and that's the image that they want to project. That's not the reality. This is the reality. These baby elephants, you can see it takes 5 to 6 grown men to pull them with ropes and poke them with bull hooks to get them to learn these tricks. Before these pictures were released to the Wall Street Journal, Ringling would be saying that these elephants did these tricks willingly, that they did it for peanuts and for apples, and that they use positive reinforcement. This is not positive reinforcement. They are not part of the AZA, the Association for Aquariums and Zoos. They do not have to adhere to those regulations.
The elephants can't even fit in
Thank you for the time, and I hope that this issue gets brought up again in the near future.
Thank you.
I would go.
That's
what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm going to cross the street.
You're going to be down, like 3 feet lower in that parking lot. It's not better over there, I'm saying. Why don't you just down and fight? Like the guy that's a blue sweater.
So, you better